So we are back live. Ali, what's happening?
So the topic was about how do you know if he, or more in this case, maybe she is the one.
I'll be open and honest. Like to me, the whole romanticized version of the one person, and I'm not a believer in that, honestly. For some people, it may work that way, right? They may find that one person, and it may go well their entire life. And wow, that is amazing.
I think it's more of finding a special one than finding the one. She's the one I fall in love. I don't know if that's the myth, and I would love also to hear your perspective on it. But from my personal experience, love is not something that you have in the beginning. I think it's more of attraction, and love is something that is built over the years.
I have a different take on it. I do believe in the one. When I met Eve, it was, like nothing short of magic because I was in a long-term relationship, and before that I was in a long-term relationship. As soon as I met Eve and I started listening to what she believes in, it aligned with me so much, and I felt completely at peace with being with this person.
I feel there are 4 different areas that you need to assess before saying, okay, maybe this is the person that will be the same. Like after the romance phase is over, I will still have that person.
I was always like, oh shit, how would I find a person which my family would love? And like not with this on the same religion, not speaking the same language, but this is the beauty of being human, like is still connecting. All right, so we are back live. We are talking about something very special, which Ali will talk about because he's super excited to get in depth on that topic. But we are happy to be back. I think it's episode number 11 or 12. We have just lost track of it, so we don't even talk about it anymore. How are you guys doing? Ali, what's happening?
Ali is doing incredibly good. I would love to have a podcast only on relationship and communication and what communication can do in a relationship, because that's an experience I had recently and that has been a game changer for me. But that's not the topic of today. The most important part is I'm fucking doing amazing and good to see you guys.
Awesome. What about you, Neil? You just got back. You're still in Ukraine, right?
Yeah, I'm here. We just got a couple days left. Soon heading out, and looking forward to that. Had an interesting time here. What a crazy time to be in Ukraine. Just got back from the countryside, and had a good time there over the weekend. Chill in nature and everything. With the grand in-laws, great grand in-laws. Looking forward to moving out of here and then finally settling. Back to Asia.
Did I hear in-laws?
Well,
Am I missing something?
I mean, what am I supposed to refer? Nothing's missing.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, welcome back to Asia soon. So you're flying on in like 4 or 5 days, right? Or you're
Couple
flying
days.
this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend.
Okay, amazing. All right, Ali, back to you. Can you please introduce the topic and tell us
But how are you
what do you
doing,
want to
bro?
talk about?
You didn't tell us. Give us a little update.
Bro,
What's
tell us an
happening?
update about the nuts, man.
Ooh,
How's
yes.
the nut
Okay.
project?
I think it's been incredible, you guys. Like I'm really enjoying, working really hard because I feel like all my life I tried to work optimized, like okay, I can have my personal space and I can enjoy life a little bit. And I had been doing that for so long, but now I also realize that there is beauty in hard work, and I've just been putting in a lot of work because I've started a small venture at the side. And of course, like when it comes to my own job, I want to make sure that I deliver. So I spend almost 8 to 9 hours every single day on that, and then as soon as I get done, I either am shooting with you guys, which I'm also enjoying because I think content building is incredible. And then whatever time that I have left, I make sure that I spend on the business, which I have started. So it started off this week, been crazy, loving your support, loving the support of all the friends. And yeah, I'm just super excited to be working on that.
So, you guys, those in Kuala Lumpur, those in Malaysia, if you're into the healthy lifestyle, you must be listening to this podcast. Of course, you're into the healthy lifestyle, so check out this peanut butter. It's 100% nut butter, no preservatives, no added bullshit. Rafay, what's the name of it?
It's called Everfood. So we are coming up with different products. So we have almond butter, we have peanut butter, we have mixed nuts, which is freaking incredible because I just used to have nuts and I did not know you can make such great nut butter, and it is so high and rich in protein, which is incredible, right? Like natural things available to you with high protein. I did not know peanut butter, just 1 tablespoon has like almost 4 grams of protein, which is just mind blowing to me.
Yeah. You know, when I couldn't afford whey and stuff, when I just started lifting and stuff, like I was slamming peanut butter by the buckets, you know, like when I was younger. But I didn't know about this stuff, and it was like full of sugar and all this crap. But now, you know, all this is available, so it's really good. So
Bro,
guys, definitely check it out. Ever
speaking
food?
about peanut butter,
Ever.
before we really dig deeper into the topic, so when I was working with one of my best friends, like of a very decent size, he's like, Ali, you need to start dieting. I'm like, okay, but what should I do? You put fucking peanut butter on everything you eat. Even if it's salmon, you put it on it. Even if it's like whatever, salami, you put it on it. Dude, I started putting it. I still have issues with peanut butter because I've had so much peanut butter in my younger days. I almost cannot get it down. I'm like, oh my God. I have trauma from that. I'm still going for a psychologist. I'm like, how do I get my peanut butter down into my stomach because it simply resists. But I'm really hoping that Rafay's product can solve that one, so I can refine my love with my peanut butter. But today is about another topic, also about love and finding the right one or the one. So the topic was about how do you know if he, or more is in this case, maybe it's she is the one. And that's the topic of
Yeah.
today. We would love to dig deeper to it. I know for sure that Rafe, not Rafe, fuck off, Rafe, Neil is prepared because he jumped into the call not knowing even what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to be very, very, very much covering this topic in depth. Neil, tell us, how do you find that the person is the one? You have a very good experience with that.
If he's the one, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how to find if he's the one, but maybe she's the one. I can give some comments on. You know, I don't know how you know that even, but yeah. So I think, yeah, today we're gonna focus on finding the one, right? The concept of the one. Now, I'll be open and honest. Like to me, the whole romanticized version of the one person and you know the perfect person, the second half and stuff. Like I'm not a believer in that, honestly. For some people, it may work that way, right? They may find that one person and you know it may go well their entire life and wow that is amazing, but to me it's like uh you know there's so many people and I don't know if there's only one for each person they because some people get married, they get divorced, they get married again, some people have 10 wives, you know, like it's different for everyone. Some people never get married, some people have different situations, right? So the thing is, from my view, it's more objective, right? Like, let's say, for example, you were born in a village like me, and let's say I had never left. The probability of me finding someone like my partner right now is almost zero because she's from literally Eastern Europe. So how would I have found her, right? Um, and most likely, almost 100% certain that I would have found someone there in the village or something, right? And throughout history, that's how most of relationships happen and stuff. And you know, now today is much different. Like even for Ali, like you've known Fatima for a long time and everything, but her parents are from so far away in different country from your parents as well. You know, and now you're both in Denmark. And Rafe, like, come on, like you went all the way to Malaysia and your partner is from there as well, you know? And I think it's good that you have a strong bond, you have a strong connection, and you may see that person as okay, this is my life partner. But the whole concept of the one, I think it's like super romanticized, you know. And that's just my view on it. Now, I'm curious to know what is your take because you may have that view, and I want to know how it is for you.
Rafe, should I jump in quickly on this one?
Go
I
on.
very much okay. So background and context. I've been married for 11 plus years now, so that's the experience I'm sharing from and my personal experience. First of all, I agree on the idea of over romanticization of the one. I think it's more of finding a special one than finding the one. And I think that one gets back to now after been living with Fatima for 11 years, and I'm very happy and very blessed with what I have. But I could also see myself being functional with another partner, another woman that actually had the same capabilities or the same mindset as Fatima. And that only came very much later after 10 to 15 years. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm offering. And I think I'm could be working with one, two, three, four, five, six, seven partners, which is special compared to the rest of the women out there. So that's at least my take on it. It's about finding a special one than finding the one. And I think that also relates to another topic that I find very, very interesting in here, the whole topic of saying, oh, she's, and again, I've been hearing it so many times, she's the one I fall in love. I don't know if that's the myth, and I would love also to hear your perspective on it. But from my personal experience, love is not something that you have in the beginning. I think it's more of attraction, and love is something that is built over the years. And I think this is one thing that we really need to balance. You are attracted to someone, you're not in love. And I can tell you, after 10, 15 years, when you really have been through ups and downs with a partner and you have been holding together, this is where you actually sincerely, from deepest of your soul, say it's not just the attraction, it's something deeper, and it's something we have been shaping together and made special. And this is what I see as being love. So that's another topic, from going from the special one and building love, and what is love in here. That's at least my take on it.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. Like from my side, I have a different take on it. I do believe in the one, because I think I've been in multiple relationships before, and I did not know what it feels like to be in a relationship with the one. Like, and of course, like in the beginning, there is infatuation. There are so many strong feelings when you start seeing someone, and you're like, shit, this could be the person that I spend my whole life with, because there are so many synergies that you find. Like, especially for me, when I met Eve, it was like nothing short of magic, because I was in a long term relationship, and before that I was in a long term relationship, and I've dated multiple people, in between as well. As soon as I met Eve and I started listening to what she believes in, it aligned with me so much, and I felt completely at peace with being with this person. It's not a lot on cognition, but more on how that person makes you feel, and how you perceive your life with that person, and if you're actually progressing with that person. So like when I met her first, I had that feeling, and we progressed extremely fast, and we went through a lot in a short span of time, because we met in the COVID times, where it was all, everything was closed up, and you didn't have a lot to do. So all we had was work, and finding about each other, like what do you like, what do you not like, and how do you see your life spanning out to be. So a lot of those ideologies were similar, and the thing that she made me feel, she made me feel complete and myself. Like, I was already complete. I always felt I'm enough for myself, but an addition of that person just made me feel like I can do everything I put my mind to. And that was very beautiful for me. And like, even it's been almost 4 years now that we have been together, and a bit more, and I still feel the same way. The feeling hasn't really changed. And for me, if you ask me today, I feel like it's all about the feeling, how that person makes you feel, and whatever your future plans are, and if you are growing together, if it's aligned, then it is just a cherry on top.
And Raf, I
Yeah.
think that one is me watching Bollywood movie yesterday, and I'm getting a second Bollywood movie. I'm crying inside,
Actually, me
bro.
too.
I'm crying. I'm gonna make a movie out of this, which is very beautiful. But Rafi, regarding, I think I would love to have like a couple of steps, like to be very pragmatic and give practical experience, like practical guidance to someone listening out there. But I think, as you said, it is about the emotion. The only thing is it the emotion that we have in the beginning of a relationship? Because sometimes you're just blind in the beginning of a relationship, and then everything is beautiful, everything is fantastic. But will that person still be that person after you enter into a relationship? I think this is the hard part about emotions, that I might have a bit hard time to just rely on, for example, emotion. Of course, that is she making me content? Is she giving me peace? Is she having the ability of make me just tranquility? Like really, she can extract you of your life and just give you that safe haven that really protects you and recharge you, so you actually can go out and fight again whatever you're fighting. So I think that is the emotional part of it. When reflecting on my own relationship, I'm like, if I had to give myself advice back then that should guide me on how do I find someone, because honestly, when I was sitting there, you almost need to make 100 personality tests of the partner, and then it becomes actually very, very, very difficult. And as we said about business that we spoke about for 2 seconds ago, maybe business is not that complex. We just complicate it. I think it's the same thing about relationship and finding the one in here. So I feel there are four different areas that you need to assess before saying, okay, maybe this is the person that will be the same after, like after the romance phase is over. I will still have that person. I think first of all, it's the relationship to the person himself or herself in this case. Again, if how are you accepting of who you are, or am I looking for someone who can complete me? And I think that's when I'm like, no, I'm content with myself. This will just be an add-on. I think that one is very, very important. Number two is the relationship to family. I think that one is extremely important. Of two things, it tells you what person I'm dealing with. Is it just a person that only think about themselves, or are they also thinking about their family? That's number one. But also, is it a healthy relationship to their family, or is it an unhealthy relationship to their family? Because I think that one is extremely, extremely important. Because again, I don't have the statistics on it, but I could imagine that 80 to 90% of marriages or relationship will break down because of family involvement or external partner involvement. So, what is it? And also, my experience, and I would love to hear your perspective on it, but one of the things that was most successful for us was that we extracted ourselves from our parents to build something that new and a new fundament. And is your partner willing to extract themselves so they don't live in two different worlds? Because otherwise, they have one leg with the family and one leg in your relationship, and it's very hard to balance these expectations in here. And that's very, very tough. I'm like, you need to cut one to build the other. Are they willing to do that jump? And I think that one is extremely important. The third one is the mindset of the person, because that is one thing that you know for sure almost going to be consistent or even going to be growing. The classic one, is it a growth mindset or is it a fixed mindset? Because if they have a growth mindset, I'm not fearing that when we come against obstacles, that that person will stand with me and grow with me and is willing to evolve over the course of time. And I know that if that is the mindset, it's like the operating system of the person. And I know I have it. Whatever circumstances, it is that person. So that's what I'm saying. It's not just the emotional part. I have that mindset. And of course, the last one is the value system. It's the operating system of the person. If I know this is the value of the person, then I know whatever situation that person you put them into it, they will be true not to me, they will be true to their values. And I think that one is extremely important. Like when I was thinking about if I had that diamond, self-acceptance or self-relationship, relationship to the family, the mindset, and then the value system. If you have that auditing, honestly, then it's not that complicated because you know what you're bidding on and what you're going to have for whatever relationship and how long term it's going to be lasting. And I think that's at least my take on how to simplify it so it doesn't become, oh, am I cheated because it's just emotions, or overcomplicate it and make 100 personality tests and take external partners. I think it could be nailed down to these four parties. So that's my part on it. I would love
Wow.
to hear your perspective.
I think this is the most prepared I've ever heard Ali on anything, you know?
Yes,
Bollywood movie CR.
absolutely. Only if you had prepared this much for all the launches you did, Ali.
You shut up. You were sitting with me dancing in the office to turuk 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 because I wasn't preparing, and I gave you some of your best life moments. Okay, thank me
I,
later.
I would agree to that for
Yeah.
sure.
Let's go back, right? Like on title, because we're supposed to be going into how do you find the one or that special person now, right? So what is the approach to that? Like, how do you actually find that one? So based on Ali's principles, all of these things, how do you actually apply it?
I mean, for me, man, like I'll tell you, like I would not even complicate it. Like I'm a very feely person. If I feel this is the right person, I'm like, okay, let's surrender and let's see how it goes. Because as Ali said, like there are like you can do hundreds of personality tests, but can you actually find out like what are the things that I align with, what are the things I don't? And the four things that Ali mentioned, I think they make a lot of sense because when he was mentioning those things, I was checking it off in my head. When I was getting introduced to Eve, and when we were going out and really learning about each other, and the family part, like I wouldn't imagine a Chinese girl from Malaysia, going back to Pakistan and really fitting so well in the culture, and my mom loving her, my sisters loving her, my entire like family of 200 people loving her, which is crazy, you
Hmm.
guys. Like, which is the most beautiful thing in the world for me to see,
Yeah.
right? Because I was always like, oh shit, how would I find a person which my family would love, and like not with this on the same religion, not speaking the same language, but this is the beauty of being human, like is still connecting.
Yeah.
That was just mind blowing to me, and for me that is everything. Like I can't give anything, any amount of money to get that feeling, or to get that kind of a person.
Yeah. No, it's I think the compatibility side, and you touched on the good point with the family side, and you as well, because I see it and I know it, like to people around, friends, other family as well. Like there's so much involvement and external hands coming in to meddle in the affairs, like I mean, even for us, well, not me so much, but I know for you, Rafe, like in the earlier days of your dating and stuff, like there was expectations and stuff from your family on who you should marry and everything like that, right? So it's not only from the woman's perspective, but from the guys as well coming into her. But we're focused on our side, right? So how do we actually find this person? Like how do we filter
Bro,
everything that's out there, everyone that's out there? How do we filter through this and have the highest chance? So to the men out there that are listening, like how do they actually go find that special person?
okay, so that's my take on it, and you might tell me, "Ali, this is not practical enough." But really, I think it's the more you focus on yourself, and now it's not the eco part, please. It's the more you know yourself and your energy is clean. I'm like, I'm content with myself. I'm in peace with myself. I know these are my values, and so on. Automatically, somehow, when you are in that state of peace and your energy is clear, you will attract a person on the same vibration as you. How they come, I don't know. But one thing I think that's very important now, if you're getting closer to 25, 30, 30 plus, make sure that you are engaging or expose yourself to new areas, new relationship that is outside of your own circle. Because I think it's two things, like clarity of energy and contentment with yourself is one thing, but you also need to make reasons for meeting new people. And I think that's the interesting part. Try new hobbies, uh, try new sports, go to book reading clubs. I don't know, like think that interests you, because most likely, if you are interested in these things, you'll also find a person that's also interested in these things. And I think that's a very good start. So that would be my two things: clean yourself, understand yourself, and be content with yourself. So your energy is clear, and expose yourself to areas of interest, because you will find a person that might be like minded in those areas.
Yeah, and from my side, like I think, um like actually actively meeting people and dating people, and finding out what you actually like and what you don't like. Because if you're in your early 20s, or even late 20s, there are people who don't actually know what they like. So
True.
until unless you do that, I think that'll really change the game. And I would also say that it's a numbers game. Like the more you do it, the better you get. And I'm not saying that in a dirty sense, but I'm actually genuinely talking about
Rafi, you know
relationship
your mom
building.
is listening to this podcast. Huh?
I know, but it's genuine, you guys. Like the reason why I'm saying that is also because I have been in multiple relationships and I have dated several people as well. And I'm not saying either of them were bad. They were all incredible freaking people. And like I really respect those people. I really think that they are incredible. But the thing is, just being with them, the feeling that they made me feel, I realized that it's just not for me. And when I was, going into a relationship with Eve, we did talk about how a relationship would look like. And that awareness only came because I was in all of those past relationships. Same for Eve. And we have hurt people for sure, and we had been hurt by people as well, but that was all the part of an experience. You can't be expecting just going to a mosque one day and finding a girl and then marrying that girl. So it's
Why
it's
not?
not always It's not always that magical for everyone, right? Like
What do
it's
you think the aunties are doing in the mosque, bro? They are matchmakers in the back end.
yes,
You're
100%.
yes.
welcome.
I was talking about you, but yeah,
Yeah, bro.
but
I
but
didn't go
but
to the
that
mosque. I went to the prayer room.
yeah, but those are my 2 cents, right? Like I think you have to keep trying and learning about yourself.
Yeah.
That Ali said, that's on point for sure. There are other ways to learn. You go out, you try, and I think Neil, you have gone out and tried a lot as well. So tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so two of you raised good point. Let's keep it clean, you know? I 100%
Hashtag, bro.
endorse,
Hashtag
if
halal
you're a
all the way.
young man out there, listen, if you're a young man out there, like, and you have that curiosity, you want to know, what's out there, go ahead and fulfill that need, I highly endorse it. So then when you do have a relationship and stuff, you're not wondering and curious if you have that in you, it depends. It's case by case. Now, um, Ali raised a really good point there, right? And I don't need to go much deeper into that, but Rafay's point also super important on what he said, the previous experience, how it comes in and everything. And for me, I think my analogy is simple. Like when you're looking for someone, you can look for someone in a nightclub, or you can look for someone in, let's say, yoga studio. So do you want a club girl or yoga girl? And then everyone has interests and sub interests. Things that are similar. So if a girl is into clubbing, then she's into that fast life, partying, having a good time. Maybe it's a phase in her life, whatever. Maybe you too. However, if you start yoga and you see a girl that you're interested in there, like the chance of her having interest in her self development, her health, this kind of stuff is much higher because she's literally in a yoga class, right? So you can think about it from that way as well. This is coming down to the practical side of things. So, I mean, different phases of your life, for men especially, like you want different things for sure. That's why it's important, as Rafi said, to get a feeling for what you actually want and know what's out there. For example, I think when you're below 25 or even below 30, I would say, it's more about, you want to have fun and figure things out and know what you want, and this is more about the internal side of things, right? But I think when you hit 30, you already have if you've been working on yourself and doing the work, that is, you have this established sense of self and your identity and who you're about. And as Ali said, if you work on yourself and you raise your vibration, you will start attracting that person. And I think it naturally happens like that because you would find yourself in the places where this person would be as well. And I always think that, okay, I know the type of person that I want or wanted before, uh, and I know who that person would be looking for. So I need to become that person, who that person will be seeking, right? And just saying, men, we don't chase, we attract, right? Like that's how we need to keep it because as you get older, something really important starts happening. Like your value increases. I think when you cross that 25, 30 mark, it's so much better to date and navigate this whole relationship thing because like I said, when you're a young man, like teens, 20s, this kind of stuff, you're still figuring things out, and you're not at that stage of maturity, to be that rock and have that solid frame. But I think as you get older, it just gets better for us. um I mean, it may get better for women too, but it's case by case, right? But yeah, like for us, we have a hard time when we're younger to date and go about this compared to women by a lot, and it's because of that, right? So yeah, I think main thing is knowing what you're about, what you want. There's different ways to navigate this. Like Ali knew immediately, he went for it. Me and Rafa, we had to navigate a little bit for maybe a couple of years, maybe a lot. But yeah, there's different ways to go about it. But the main thing is, it depends on you, on who you are, and what you are able to attract. I think that is my core take on it.
Hey, Neil, I heard a very good term that explains what you just said. It's called fuck around and find out.
Exactly. I'll find out and fuck around. Like,
No, navigating.
And that's
We
also a
call
way
it
of saying
navigating.
navigating.
I think that wraps it up. We touched on a lot here today, and basically to find that that one, if you believe in the one, that's completely fine, right? Because for some of us that may be the case, and you know it may work for you, so whatever serves you. And if you want to view that as a special person, like I do, like Ali do as well, I think that that's also okay. But the main thing is, the main core message here today is, it's about who you are and who you are becoming, because that is what will attract her, that special person. So I think that wraps up today's episode, and see you on the next one.
Thank you so
Ciao.
much. Beautiful.
Peace.